Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Gonna give you the update. I have the police report now. I know that what happened is, or at least according to the report, I shouldn't say I know because I wasn't here. I was in Portland, 3.5 hours south. I got the phone call a little after 8. Anyhow, see the tracks? It's reported that the car that hit the house, after it hit, it backed up and drove off, but somebody saw it and followed it. So anyway, there's 2 sets of tire tracks here, and now I notice it because look at over here. Can you see this little imprint over here? It's obvious that the car went through here too, where this little patch of mud is, and it caught it. So anyway, that might be the path that they backed up on. And as for why this rut is so tore up here but not here, it's because there's an incline here, and just before this happened we had snowfall, so the ground, it's still soft and soggy and wet. You know, moist grass, big heavy SUV, not hard to tear up your lawn, you know? Also, what you couldn't tell from what I recorded earlier, and what I didn't even notice when I first recorded it, is you see this board right here? This board, which is, you know, it's over 3 feet long, this board flew all the way over that fence and landed in my neighbor's yard. So that's obviously, you know, that board felt the force of the impact of the vehicle flying through the fence. And from here to the fence is probably 40 feet, maybe 50. I should know the dimensions of my lot better, but 40 to 50 is about right. I saw a video that said it didn't look like the window broke right. It's just like, come on, you guys. How does a window break right? Could you please tell me? But anyway, you want to know a funny story? The last time my house got ripped off, they broke in through the garage and went through my door between the garage and the house, and I replaced the door right away. I had my handyman buddy help me out, went and picked up a door, had him help me install it. The insurance came out the next day and asked me why I'd replaced the door already, and I said, well, I know who robbed my house. They live across the street, and I didn't want to leave my door wide open again so they could come back and get what they left, which wasn't much. So anyway, this time I hired the insurance to send out their guys, you know, because the person who hit me, I have their insurance policy number and all that's happening. But anyhow, they sent out these 2 guys to do these repairs. These guys did not know the phrase measure twice, cut once. These guys had to use plywood from my own shed to do this job because they screwed up so many times cutting their own wood. And I just couldn't believe it. I was thinking, wow, I had to wait for these people to come out all day, and they don't even know how to do their own job. I could have patched up the house myself, but the reason I didn't want to is because I didn't want the insurance, you know, questioning me like they did last time. Last time they wanted to know why I put the door up so fast, as if my house wasn't actually burglarized. So anyway, you know, dealing with insurance, you might as well just follow their protocol, otherwise they might, you know, start to make their case why they shouldn't have to pay you for the wrongdoing. You know, that's how it works in insurance. People who go and cry to the doctor and go to the therapist and claim all this stuff, they get the biggest payouts. I'm not that type of person. I will do none of that. I don't want anything extra. I just want my house fixed how it was before. But for all of you saying, like, it doesn't look like a car impacted it, look up here. You see how the house is separated? And look at down here. The house is off the foundation, and I'll show you what this looks like inside too, but I mean, the home got totally knocked off the foundation. I don't know what you guys think would happen when a car hits a house. It's not an exactly common thing. And for all of you who listen to these channels who are saying this looks like a hoax, I mean, where do these people get their expertise in investigating how it looks when a car hits a house? You know what I mean? How's it supposed to look? And again, right here, people are saying, well, why is all this in the middle of the driveway? I have a hole in the middle of the driveway, which I need to retard back up. But look at this. You see this? This hole, it just caved out this summer, and it turns out it is like a cavern down there. It worries me. I don't know how deep it goes. I took this huge flexible thing and it just kept going. So I'm like, do I live on top of a sinkhole? I heard this used to be a landfill, like a lot of places in America, homes built on top of landfills, the American way. But anyway, this is gonna cost money to fix, so this was all patched up. You know, I had it stretched out with, and I just threw the heavy things on it, buckets to collect the water, keep it dry so it doesn't get worse, you know? And I think the vehicle struck that, in turn causing all this. So anyway, True Seeker, this is what it looks like on the outside. You know? Knocked off the foundation. That's the main brunt of the impact. So I'm going to show you the police report and what it looks like inside real quick. Also, you know, just somebody said these weren't tire treads. Can you see this? Can you make this out? I mean, if that's not a tire tread, what is it? When I moved here in 2012, you want to know something funny about this house, True Seeker? It's been pretty bad luck for me. I literally bought this house on January 13th, 2012, and if you go look back at what that date was, it was a Friday. I got this home on a Friday the 13th, and I thought, oh boy, I don't know what that's going to mean. Well, I've learned a lot. So here's what it looks like, patched up from the inside now. What we're going to have to do is just tear it away and then just replace all the framing, you know? Redo the framing, reset it on the foundation. Base plate down here got busted. Just down the wall, the whole home's knocked off the foundation like that. That's what the force of the impact did. And real quick, if you're thinking, well, how come there's no skid marks? You know, that's another thing people were asking. I meant to bring that up. I asked the same thing. Why are there no skid marks? The person didn't even try to brake. It is very bizarre. But look, I'll show you in the police report. The person backed up, drove off. So let me see. Okay, date of the collision, December 24th, 2016. The time of the incident, 2000 hours. That's military time. That's the same as 8 p.m., 12 hours in the morning, plus 8 more in the evening. Like I said, I got the phone call a little bit after 8. Gave you guys the case number. A lot of people were saying that I was making this up. I mean, you guys, I'm the last person to... there we go. Got the light better now, True Seeker. Let's see. There's the case number, 16-30906. Total number of units, 2. A vehicle in a building, object struck building. So the date of the collision, December 24th, like we said, Christmas Eve. Literally, I was at a church service from 7 to 8 p.m., and I had not been in a church building in a long time. Went with my sister. You know, my sister and I, we've been feuding a little bit. We're trying to get back along. It's like a peace offering going to church with her. On the way home from the church, the police were calling me, but my phone was on silent in my pocket. I didn't know. When I got home and out of the car, I saw that I'd been called a bunch of times. And this is what I found out. The home had been ran into. Blows my mind. So let's see. I'm just trying to give you the report so you can see all what's here. I crossed out the person's name who hit the house. I want to respect their privacy. I'm not trying to out them. I know I didn't black that out. The police blacked that out. They don't let you have their driver's license number. I suppose that's a good thing. Her date of birth, April 12th, 1972. That makes her 44 years old. What trips me out about that is, you know, I'm talking about the organic nature of these numbers. Car crash in gematria sums to 44. I told a story earlier this year, June 2nd, 2016. That day, I found out that my sister had breast cancer. Date with 44 numerology, June 2nd, 2016. The word cancer has gematria 44. So does chemo. So does kill. That same day, I was visiting my friend before I found out about my sister, and his girlfriend was taken off. She was going to go visit her mother, who doesn't live too far away. And right after she took off, she called back to let my buddy know that she'd been in a car crash. And I was thinking, how weird, car crash, 44, date with 44 numerology. Then I found out about my sister hours later. And then what I found out about 2 weeks after the fact was on that same day, a man had fallen downstairs and died. And he was only 50 years old. He was a professor at a college. Who this man was the boyfriend of my girlfriend's foster mother. My girlfriend's from Burma, Myanmar. When she moved to the United States, she lived with this woman for a number of years. They're still friends. They still keep in touch. They see each other about once every other month. She'd been dating this man, and it was a successful relationship, and she was very happy, and he slipped and fell down some very steep stairs and fatally died on this date with 44 numerology. All three of those events, June 2nd, 2016. And just hearing about it just blew my mind. I thought, there is really something organic to this number matrix. So, what else can I show you? They told me the car was a white Escalade. I suppose a Chevy Avalanche is similar. Looks similar in appearance. But this is the type of vehicle that hit the car. Somebody said there was no debris from a car. This is the only thing I found in the yard left from the car. And as it happens, as we'll get to, the person who hit me lives in my neighborhood, and I've seen the car. The Chevy Avalanche is a well-built vehicle. It is not that dented. Your mind would be blown by, this car is totally drivable right now that hit my house. Totally drivable. Has a little body damage, front right side. It lost this thing from the front right side. I don't see anything else wrong with their car. So let me get you back on the page. Where were we? There we go. Chevy Avalanche. I don't know what that style means, PK. It was towed. Damage threshold met. I wonder how they determine that. Property owner. Property owner is me. You see? That's my address. People have been posting it. You know what I noticed? Just years ago, if you would have searched for my name on Google and the city I live in, just my name and city, my address wouldn't have popped up. Now I notice if you do that web search for pretty much anyone, their name and city, there's a few websites that pop up that show right where you live. So it is not hard to find anyone's address. A lot of people have been posting my address, whatever. Can't run from it. That's where I live. Date of birth, July 21st, 1983. Just like I've always said. Living in Bothell. You know what's interesting? Bothell has Gematria 74. When I moved here, I didn't know what Gematria was. I might have thought somebody was crazy. And I'm from Oregon, the only state with 74 Gematria. I was in Oregon when I got told about this accident in Bothell. It blows my mind. Anyway. So that's the report. I think I showed you every millimeter of it. This is what's on the second page, and this is where it gets more interesting. So this is what happened. This person right here who's crossed out is a witness. This is who saw the wreck. This is who called 911. This person lives a couple blocks from me. They live very close too. They happen to see it. This person's born June 9th, 1985. You know what's a trip, Truth Seeker? You know what's a trip about that birthday? It has 119 numerology, like all-seeing eye. This guy was apparently the all-seeing eye for this report. That's a trip. I don't know this neighbor. Maybe I'll have to go introduce myself. So here's the report. Here's where it gets interesting. Let's go through this. Unit 01 was driving southbound on Meridian Way South, approaching 232nd Place Southwest. And it's a 30-mile-per-hour street. When I first moved on this street in 2012, that street probably got 2 cars per minute tops. These days, it gets, on average, probably about 10 cars a minute. There are so many people that have moved out here since I did. I got here just before it went crazy. My property value has literally doubled since the beginning of January 2012. So anyway, I don't know if that'll hold true, though, with interest rates going up. Property values might come back down. But anyway, just telling you, this area is growing like crazy. So it says the driver, who was later determined to be heavily intoxicated, drove off the roadway on the west side and onto the property located at 232nd Place Southwest. Who was? Isn't it interesting that it says later determined? I mean, what's that mean? How much later? So anyway, drove off and into my location. Unit 01 crashed through the gate of a wooden fence, continued into several ladders that were stored in the yard, while they were stored along the side of the house, and struck the southeast corner of the residence. The impact caused a large hole in the corner of the house, knocked at least one wall off the foundation, shattered a large window, and completely removed a door and frame from the wall. There you go. The driver then reversed out of the yard and drove to her residence located at X 232nd Place Southwest. Now, if you're paying attention, that street might look familiar. That means that the person who hit me lives on my own street, which is something I did not know at first. She made no attempt to report the incident. Another driver witnessed the crash and called police. You know, True Seeker, what's so bizarre is when I moved into this house, there were 2 vacant homes on this block. They were both bank foreclosures that had been on the market for years. And both of those homes were bought a week apart from each other, interestingly enough. And those are now the 2 homes on my block that are involved in disturbing my life. One of those people is who burglarized my home, caused all sorts of problems, and now the other one is who hit me. How weird is that? So anyway, that is the police report. Here's what's so bizarre. The accident happened 8 o'clock Christmas Eve, right? 8 o'clock Christmas Eve. Look at when the police report was filed. December 26, 2016, just after midnight at 12:33 a.m. And then it was approved at 1:59 a.m. It says for the incident, the time the police were dispatched was 8:05 p.m. Again, the wreck was supposed to be about 8 p.m. or 2000 hours military time. Interesting how they use 2 formats. And then they say the police arrived on the scene at 8:11. So anyway, it's bizarre, Truth Seeker. It's bizarre, this world. Here, I'll tell you one more story, because this is the weirdest part of the story. Okay, where's my date of birth? Down here. Look this up. Use a web search right now and type, what's the coldest day ever recorded on Earth? And you'll see, it should come up, July 21st, 1983. And the record temperature that day is negative 89 Celsius. My full name in gematria equals 89. My father's full name equals 89. My mother's born September 8th. 8/9 as it's written in most parts. What's so interesting is my mother and father's birthdays are 144 days apart each year. 144 days. My father's birthday's April 18th. My mother's September 8th. 89 is the 11th Fibonacci number, and 144 is the 12th Fibonacci number. The Fibonacci numbers are supposed to be the naturally occurring numbers in the world we live in. You know, appear in leaf prints, seashell, our palm, so many things. Fibonacci sequence. 89 coded into my father, myself, my mother. Their birthday is 144 days apart. With regards to 44 and 144, I'm a Cancer astrologically. Cancer equals 44. My sister is Sagittarius, which equals 144. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. My sister's birthday is Pearl Harbor Day. Pearl Harbor Day. From her birthday, she's older than me, to my birthday is exactly 226 days. 226 days from her December 7th birthday to my July 21st birthday. If you flip the 2 and 1 around, if you write 7/21 and you write 12/7, notice how those numbers are reflections of each other. My sister's birthday and my birthday. Isn't that so weird? But anyway, our birthdays are 226 days apart. And 226 is a number connected to Saturn, the keeper of time. The number 44 and 144 have a lot to do with time. The word clock is 44. The word time is 144. Each day there's 1,440 minutes. The square root of 144 is 12, like the 12 months in the year, the 12 hours in the morning, the evening. So anyway, Saturn, the keeper of time. The word planet in Jewish gematria equals 226. And the most important planet to the occult, to the ancients, is Saturn, which was the most distant planet to them, the sixth planet. Planet equals 226. Saturn equals 93. When you write out 226 as a word, it sums to 93. 226, 93. I was in Oregon, where my sister and I grew up. We're from Portland, Oregon. It's where my parents met. She has a different father than I. We have different fathers, same mother, my sister and I. So anyway, we're both from Oregon, the 33rd state. The only state with 74 gematria. Remember, Jesus equals 74, cross 74, Jesus on the cross at 33. And don't twist what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm Jesus. I'm just reminding you what the point of all these things are. So anyway, Oregon, it's also established February 14th, 1859, which is a date with 93 numerology, the number for Saturn. Saturn. I was in Oregon when this happened. I was in Saturn land when this happened. Nike's headquartered in Oregon. Nike's symbol is a swoosh or a ring of Saturn. Nike equals 39, the reflection of 93. The word pagan's 39. Christmas to the ancient Romans was known as Saturnalia. Saturnalia. Ancient Roman festival. Saturnalia. Again, Saturn is 93. Christianity equals 930. It is the Christian holiday celebrating the birth of Jesus, who died on the cross. That symbol called the Crucifix by some. Crucifix equals 93. God's sun equals 93. Science tells us the sun is 93 million miles away. The sun is the true keeper of time. The sun is what makes life possible in this world. To the occult, the sun is love. Love, God's love. And when you think about it, there's a lot of logic in that. And again, Saturn is 93, the keeper of time. The occult religion Thelema worships 93 and the word love. Thelema. So anyway, I was in 93 land, Oregon, visiting my sister, going to church with her to appease her. You know? Peace offering. Our birthdays are 226 days apart. When I got home in the middle of the night, when I first got the police report, then I had to call the insurance. I was on the phone with them for at least an hour. I had to run back to my mom's house and set something up for her. Had to do that. Then I had to drive home from there back to where I live, north of Seattle, about a 3.5-hour drive. And luckily there wasn't any traffic. You know, you probably wouldn't expect any on Christmas Eve. It's probably one of the safest evenings of the year to drive on. But anyway, I got back in the middle of the night. I just thought, man, I don't know what's going on in this world. I think I'm just going to upload a quick video showing people what's going on in my life, you know? In a way, I feel safer showing you guys when crazy things happen to me now. You know, I've been threatened. This kind of stuff happening on Christmas Eve. The home's exposed. I thought, well, in case I don't make it through the night, I want to let people know what happened to my house last. But what was funny is as soon as I uploaded the video, people started to say, oh, he set this up. He's just trying to get sympathy for his All for Truth website. And I was like, what? I didn't ask for any money. I didn't ask for any sympathy. I said, just look at what happened to me on Christmas Eve, Truth Seeker. And so I went outside to take a picture of the damage from the outside to show how bad it looked from the outside. And I just took a picture and uploaded it quick to Facebook because you know how it is on the phone. The Facebook button's right there. It just punches up real quick. And plus my mom, she was asking me. She said she wanted to see the damage. I thought I'd send it to her in the morning, let her get a good night's sleep and not freak out. But anyway, she really wanted to see it, so I was like, whatever, I'll just post this on Facebook. Then people can see that my home was really hit. Anybody can see my Facebook profile. I have it set to public. You know, there's nothing I'm hiding there. I'm just trying to get the word out. So anyway, if anybody really wanted to see the damage to my home, I just uploaded that photo, and then I pretty much crashed for the night. I was exhausted. Well, just yesterday, I went back to look at that photo to see what people had written on my Facebook about it. I don't go on Facebook very often. There's just a million things going on right now. But anyway, I just want to see what people wrote about the photo because my girlfriend was laughing, saying people were, I guess supposedly people who are my Facebook friends were saying I was lying about it. So I was just going back to read the comments, and lo and behold, I could not believe what time I uploaded the photo in the middle of the night. And I did not do it on purpose. I swear it on everything. I didn't even realize it happened until just yesterday. And what time I uploaded the photo was 2:26 in the morning, Christmas Day, the original Saturn alia. Planet 226, Saturn 93, 93, 226 go together. What the whole thing that feels so amazing to me is I was in a church building for my sister. My sister brought me back to the church building. And what else was on my mind, True Seeker, as I drove home is, am I wrong? Am I wrong about my spiritual beliefs? Am I wrong about Jesus? Am I doing something wrong? Is there a reason this happened on Christmas Eve? And I just thought about it, driving home in the middle of the night. And, perhaps there's things I need to think about. And, I used to teach elementary school, and a lot of things that I do on this video channel, when I'm rude and the things I say to people who I don't like, and realized when I first came here I was really nice and upstanding and I put up with all of it, but finally I just got burnt out. But the things I do now, they are what I used to teach my students not to do. So, I need to really think about that. And I'm going to make 2017 about getting more mature and getting further ahead with this agenda. But I'll keep the entertainment factor there. I know some people need the extra emotion for the entertainment, but I'm just going to keep it more fair. I don't want to give any people excuses to hate me anymore or to want to divide over my work. I just want people to observe this knowledge and see what's going on in this world. There's something going on here. We need to figure out exactly what it is. I'm showing you this video how things can occur naturally too, because it does need to be considered more, Was that story too weird, True Seeker? I'll tell you what, it weirds me out. Been studying Saturn, all this occult stuff, and then it happens to me on Christmas, And with regards to her being 44 years old, 44 years old, Saturnalia, Pythagorean gematria, English reduction with the S exception, Saturnalia equals 44. Like clock, 44 connects to 144, the number for time. Saturn, the keeper of time. I mean, isn't it amazing? What else trips me out a little bit is her birthday is April 12th, the 102nd day of the year. Talk about that number, the date the Civil War began. Date Hillary Clinton began her campaign. Hillary Rodham equals 144. So much lined up for Hillary to be the 44th person that was president of the United States, which is now Donald Trump. Donald's the 45th president. Hillary would have been the 45th, but he's also the 44th person. Same thing would have been true for Hillary. All right, Truth Seeker. This video went way longer than I wanted. Until next time.